is My Experience Living in Los Angeles by JaidenAnimations. I've been to California once in my life, and it was probably 30 years ago. So I haven't been to the Golden State in quite some time. So let's see how our good friend Jaiden enjoyed her experience in the Golden State.
9 years ago, James and I talked about what it was like living in our home state, Arizona. I honestly don't remember most of what we said in that video. I tried to rewatch it as a refresher and maybe a little trip down memory lane, but turns out after 5 seconds I'd rather be guillotined. No, eyes on me. You clicked on this video, you're staying on this video. No funny ideas, alright? The other day I was in a store trying to buy a plain black shirt that was locked up behind those stupid box lockers, so I had to ring
Yeah. We're all getting used to that new part of modern life, huh? When you gotta get somebody to unlock the toothpaste.
employee for a single shirt. A few minutes later, someone came by. Alright, what can I... Oh my gosh. Are you JaidenAnimations? Yeah. No way.
Oh shit, people are recognizing her.
Hey, I love your videos. Can I get a photo? Yeah. Thanks so much. I didn't expect to see you here. Are you visiting? Oh, no, I live here. You're not in Arizona anymore? And that's when it dawned on me, there is a giant portion of my audience who will not get updated on some parts of my life if I don't explicitly say it in one of my animations. Also, the guy left without unlocking the box, so I had to wait another 5 minutes for him to come back and get the shirt. So yeah, to anyone who didn't get the memo, I've been in California for the past 6.5 years, specifically Los Angeles.
Oh fuck, why would you be so masochistic?
Honestly can't believe it's been that long already, because that means for the past 6.5 years, I've been doing nothing but complaining about it the entire time. I believe in the compliment sandwich system though. Not everything about moving to California has been bad. For example, the weather is great. It's always sunny, which, Arizona is too. But like, in a...
Arizona's too much sun. It's like 98 degrees in the shade during sundown. It's a dry heat though, so it's not that terrible because it's not that muggy, humid shit. Because I know someone who lives in that area, and they told me yeah, it's not as bad as the humidity out here, but it's very intensely hot. It's like a dryer, and uh thank mankind for air conditioning.
bad way. California doesn't hit the casual 118 everything outside melts and dies degrees like back.
Told you, told you. I know. I've researched. Should I live in Arizona? No, 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 no.
Home. It's vacation weather all the time. I like that part. The drivers here are assholes.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh my god. I have never encountered a vehicle with a California plate that has not made me wish I could toss hand grenades from my driver's window.
Arizona isn't all sunshine and rainbows in the driving department either. When I was learning to drive as a teenager, my mom told me to never honk at people no matter what because there's a chance they'll just shoot me. But because of the sheer volume of people on California roads all the time, it is a completely different beast. And every single...
That is such an accurate portrayal of traffic. Oh god. We gotta go back.
But because of the sheer volume of people on California roads all the time, it is a complete...
That right there, you see this? This is my fucking Godzilla. This is my enemy. I am so glad I work a shift where there's traffic on the road, there's people on the road, but it's never like this anymore. I used to have to go to work in this, and it was a nightmare. It was an actual circle of hell. Going going 3 feet in 30 minutes, and every second of every moment you've got to check to make sure no one's trying to use that tiny space between you and the next car to cut in front of you, because everyone's thinking the same thing. I got to get further ahead in this line, and it is just absolute pandemonium.
Different beast, and every single one of them is
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to drive where you live, which is good. And I'll say this about driving: it's rewarding, but there's a lot of stuff that comes with it, and a lot of that is just the inconsiderate attitude of other people on the road.
driving to go kick babies because they hate their fellow man.
I'm gonna use that. I swear to God, I'm stealing that from you. Just know I'm stealing that from you. Race to the red light. First one to go, stop. I'm using that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Screen cap that. I'm using that.
Passion does not exist on the California freeway, and by that, I mean blinker. And every single one of them is driving to go kick babies because they hate their fellow man. Compassion does not exist on the California freeway, and by that, I mean blinkers. You know,
No,
the
they
very
don't.
helpful and necessary communication tool that tells people you'd kindly like to move into the lane. It's a sign of weakness here.
Oh God, I know that. I know that all too well.
If you even think about turning your blinker on, every single car in your vicinity will speed up and refuse to let you merge because they cannot handle it.
That's how it feels sometimes.
The idea of a different car being
Just the endless parade of people flipping you off, going, "Nah, fuck you,
in front
man."
of them. How can they get to their destination faster if a car that was in front of them in a different lane suddenly shifts to the side 12 feet? People will go out of their way to merge into the lane just to speed past you and sit on your windshield.
I bet you should. I bet you she's only slightly exaggerating, because L.A. and New York City are both just absolute. Read Dante's Inferno, and you'll get the experience of living in New York City or L.A. It's like there was one part of Dante's Inferno where there's a river of feces. Yeah, that's L.A. And then there's one part where like everyone's getting whipped and getting beaten. That's New York. Yeah.
When I turn my blinker on, which I still do because I refuse to let this barbaric driving culture corrupt me, a car
Based. That is based.
will speed up and then merge in front of me. If you need to be in my lane and I need to be in yours, we literally have to stay at our same speeds
And switch
and
lanes.
shift. It's simple. There's
Sim-
no point in you blocking my merge just to merge into my lane anyway. Oh my god, it pisses me off so much. They do it all the time. If I had no money and got $1 every single time someone took advantage of my blinker, I'd have enough money to move out of this godforsaken state. One time I turned my blinker on, checked my blind spot, and in the amount of time it took for me to look back at the road and start merging, a car way behind me had sped up so fast
Look at the face on that asshole.
that my car's auto detection had to cut my merge off so I wouldn't hit them. And then that car honked at me! I will kill us both. Alright, so the drivers suck, but
That's too relatable. No. That's too relatable.
at least I'm only going a few miles. Not only am I forced to drive alongside these bozos, I'm forced to drive alongside them for way longer than I should need to. The traffic is so genuinely bad, I daydream of becoming a better sprinter to arrive at places quicker because it is genuinely not far from the realm of realism. Either that or get one of those monster snowplow attachments. I mean, 10 miles?
We've all had that thought. Let's see that
It
again.
is genuinely not far from the realm of realism. Either that or get one of those monster
We've all had this thought right here.
snowplow attachments. I mean, seriously, 10 miles? I should not be in the car longer than 20 minutes. Everyone here loves driving 30 over the speed limit anyway. I don't even know what the holdup is. Also, a little tip. If you wanted to find a place to park when you get to your destination, you shouldn't even be driving in the first place. Parking doesn't exist here, it's a myth and a lie. 95% of all locations have 0 parking lots. There's never street parking, and if you happen to be a lucky enough soul to find a spot, you can't slow down to parallel park into it because
Nope.
people are either gonna yell at you for clogging the lane or ram
Or
into
you-
your bumper. It's just an evil trick. So your only choice is to find a parking garage that costs like $20. One time, my friends and I drove to a One Piece live symphony at the Dolby Theater and decided to park in its parking garage. Oh, what an obvious mistake. Do you want to know how long it took us to get out of that garage after the show when everyone was leaving? 2.5 hours! We parked in the designated parking garage for a show and paid 2.5 hours of our life on top of real life money. So what if you don't have a car? Then you don't have to deal with any of this, right? Well, you can't walk anywhere. What do you think this is? Any other country? You could get a bike or a motorcycle, but again, with the quality of drivers around, you might as well play Russian roulette every time the wheels touch asphalt. Maybe with the right setup and some expendable funds, you could just get around with rideshare apps. But man, getting an Uber is so expensive out here. It might as well be considered a luxury in itself. If you're taking an Uber either to or from the LAX
Oh, you're toast. Oh, you're cooked. You will never financially recover from this.
airport, I guarantee it'll cost at least $100.
I actually haven't been to a concert since I started driving. The last time I went to a concert, I took public transportation. And I think, as much as I love driving, if I was going to go to a concert, I would probably still take public transportation just because I don't want to deal with all that. Like when there's an event, my girlfriend works at a stadium, and when there's an event at that stadium, cause she'll tell me and she'll be like, "Yo, traffic might be bad because there's a this thing concert coming to town," and I'm like, "Ah, motherfucker," and I go and I will notice there is more traffic and heavier traffic on those days. So yeah, if I ever go to a concert again, I'm probably taking fucking public transit, or me and all the people who are gonna go with me can split a cab, cause I am not. First of all, I'm not gonna pay for all that park. I'm not paying $20, $35 an hour for fucking parking. I don't know. And then I'm not gonna wait 2.5 hours of my life getting my soul drained while waiting for a parade of people to let me in. I'll just take the fucking train or a cab.
And the drivers don't get like any of that, by the way. Once I had a driver complain to me about the ride rates the whole trip, which was not asked for to begin with. He
At least you made the best of your time, though.
said he had a client once trying to go to LAX and they were being charged $100, like I said, but the driver was only going to get $30 from the trip. So he offered to charge $80 cash for them to do it outside the app as a win-win. Don't ever take this type of offer, kids. That was incredibly dangerous. But that's just where the landscape of Uber is here. Also, fun little tip. Never tell any drivers the place you're going to or from is your actual home. This is
Also, yeah, that's pretty cooked. That like the driver only gets $30 from a $100 ride. Jesus Christ.
for everywhere, not
But that is also great advice. This is all good
just
advice.
California. Sure, if they ask, it's normally small talk, but when it's not, you're in danger. Win-win. Don't ever take this type of offer, kids. That was incredibly dangerous. But that's just where the landscape of Uber is here. Also, fun little tip, never tell any drivers the place you're going to or from is your actual home. This is for everywhere, not just California. Sure, if they ask, it's normally small talk, but when it's not, you're in danger! Yikes! Now that guy won't leave your driveway. And the police say they can't do anything because he hasn't actually committed a crime yet. Just lie and say it's a friend's place or something. It's not worth the gamble, and lying to strangers is fun. That was a free survival hint from your friendly neighborhood YouTuber. Put that one in the back of your pockets. Speaking of LAX, because I brought it up earlier, that
She's right, you know.
place is actual hell on earth. If someone gets sent there after death, I would consider it a viable punishment for being a bad person. But innocent people are forced to be subjected to it every single day, and it's inhumane. You have every single asshole with a plane ticket in the entire city and beyond enter through the same stupid entrance, forced to drive through the same loop bumper to bumper until they get to their specific gate. No branching paths, no attempts to categorize the types of arrivals, just a single slaughterhouse line like cattle. But in normal slaughterhouse lines, the cattle don't hate each other. I was talking about bad merging before. It is legitimately survival of the fittest in the LAX horseshoe. Absolutely no one will let you merge lanes ever unless you threaten to fist fight them right there on the concrete. One time I sat with my blinker on in traffic that was not moving for 15 minutes straight, and a dude
I've done that. Not at the airport, but I've done that.
still refused to let me start merging once cars started inching forward. I had to sit there making direct eye contact with him until he was uncomfortable enough to let me get in front of him. It is personal. I am not the same person when I'm in the LAX horseshoe. None of us are. Some dudes in the 1960s decided they wanted everyone that ever planned to visit LA to suffer instantly when they got here. And they simply got away with it. I've spent so much time talking about traffic and the airport, I haven't even talked about living in LA yet. Well, that part sucks too! Everything is so absurdly expensive here, it's almost comedic.
It's a big city. Big cities are always more expensive.
Almost. Maybe raise the prices of food like $10 more and I'll start to chuckle. Now a burrito's like $40. I haven't even had food out here that's blown my mind. Sure, it's not bad, but when eating out can get this expensive, I expect something more to write home about. There are some really fancy restaurants around, but I shouldn't have to spend even more money to eat a meal that makes me go, wow, I will remember this. It's become a common pastime for some people to pull up Zillow and look at all the really crazy expensive multi-million-dollar mansions, fantasizing about what they would do if they were to live in the craziest of homes. But the equivalent of that for me and my friends here is to look at normal homes that are just not in California. Oh, that one! 3-bed, 2-bath for like $2,500 a month. That's insane. Here, the same thing can go upwards of $7,000. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very lucky and fortunate enough to not have to worry about finances as much. I can afford to live in a more expensive place here. It's not gonna break my bank. But at the same time, I'd like to still be relatively smart with money. Sure, I tend to splurge on plushies and trinkets. Haha, Jaiden's buying another Miku figure. But outside of that stuff, I'm really not spending money on anything else. I'm not into luxury cars or clothes or any of that type of culture. It's trinkets, plushes, and admittedly a little too much DoorDash. But I have a
That's pretty base.
job that I can perform literally anywhere in the entire world. And I'm sitting here wasting extra costs on living in
I mean, yeah, if my job was online only like that, I would be living out in the middle of the fucking country where it's cheap and there are no people. But that's me.
one of the most expensive cities in America. It feels bad. And I don't know if you picked up on it yet, but I don't even really like it here all that much. So, why? Why do I choose to burn extra money just to exist in LA? The single reason is all of my friends are here, and I'd happily shovel extra.
It's the same reason I'm still in New York. All my buddies are here. I don't want to fucking leave. I mean, I do. I desperately want to get the fuck out of this insane clown show of a city. But literally all the people I love are here. And I don't want to leave them.
Funds into a giant furnace to be near them because that's what makes a place feel like a true home.
Yeah.
But all of my friends are also content creators that can work anywhere too, and if we all just banded together and decided to move somewhere else, that would sure be swell. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time, coordination, and resources to try and figure out an entirely new place to move a giant friend group of people, so we've essentially soft-locked ourselves here until we can all agree it's time to get out of here. I'll give LA some credit. The main thing that makes it great is the fact that everything is always happening here. There's always some sort of fun event going on. Concerts, tours, random pop-ups. I went to a live screening of the season 2 finale of
Riots.
where the cast got to talk about it afterwards, and that was one of the coolest experiences of my life so far. You name it, it is happening in California. Truly, you will never be bored here if you're always looking for something to do, and I recognize that is incredibly valuable. But at the same time, it means
Random. Yeah, Gore, you're absolutely right. Needle stabbings, maniacs. But Florida? You gonna go to Florida? I mean, you know what? There are things about Florida I like, and I'm beginning to think I might be able to handle the alligators and the hurricanes.
there's always tourists visiting, and Los Angeles is a very disgusting city for tourists to visit. It smells like pee.
I told you, it's Los Angeles is an actual shithole, like a hole, and there's shit in the hole. That's Los Angeles. Like it's an actual shithole. Like you know how people say, "Oh, this place is a shithole." No, 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 no. This is a hole, and there's shit all over the hole. It's a shithole.
All the time. The tourist trap areas are so trashy. There's constant crowds everywhere you go. When it rains, the
I mean, honestly, my dream house has never been more than one story because stairs are the devil's work. So I think I can make things work.
pee smells even worse. Every once in a while, I need to go into the city for some reason or another, and those are bad days. Also, if you want to see all these cool things, you don't have to live in California to begin with. In fact, living here only desensitizes me to all the awesome stuff constantly around. Back when I first moved, I was really close to Disneyland, and for the entire 2 years I spent over there, I only went to the alleged happiest place on earth a single time because of a friend's birthday. That's more of a personal experience though. I know plenty of people who have yearly passes to Disney or Universal who go to them all the time. But for me, I always just think
That's based actually. I've thought about doing something like that too. If I ever get into content creation full time, that is something I would absolutely consider is just becoming a nomad and just live from somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I'm in Arizona today. Live from Arizona. Live from Oregon. Live from. Oh fuck! I'm actually in Canada. I gotta get back to America. Whoops. Yeah, that would be the dream. That's the dream, Gore. 5 miles away from a Walmart, no one around, and high speed internet.
I can go there anytime, so maybe later. and then later is multiple years. I consider it a privilege to be able to live in LA. It's expensive, a lot of people dream of coming here and making it big, and if you can afford it, you can definitely live luxuriously. But I am just really not built for all that. I grew up in a tiny desert town with like no people in it, and prefer to be holed up in my house 90% of the time watching YouTube until my brain is mush.
Same, same. Uh, Honestly, even before I injured my foot, most of my time I just want to like chill, veg out to YouTube, maybe eat a burger or two. That's pretty cool. Just chill on the Walmart parking lot. And you're close to supplies if you ever need anything. And Walmart, literally, if you need it, Walmart probably has it.
However, as much as I want to uproot everything again to live somewhere else less expensive and more compatible with my preferred lifestyle, I do think LA is a good place for me to be right now. Both the YouTube and animation industry are here. I don't need to travel for most of the events I get invited to, and content creators are always visiting for something or another, so I get to meet a lot of fellow creator friends.
That is true. LA is a big center for media and entertainment. LA and, ironically enough, my town, New York City, are both big hubs for the media entertainment space, which is cool, but sometimes I just want to be in a quiet place where there's nothing happening. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Can't say anywhere else in the world can offer all these benefits that specifically apply to me right now. And it's also just a lot of fun. I might not exactly like it, but LA is my home for at least the next few years, and I do get to have a lot of fun here with my friends. It's a toxic relationship, I suppose, but I'm sure in a decade when I'm somewhere else and reminiscing on the past, I'll have very fond memories of it all. So I can complain all I want while I'm here, but deep down, I know California has been such a huge part of the most defining years of my life, and I'll hold a very special place for it in my heart for a long time. LAX and the drivers are just excluded from it though. I'll hate those parts forever.
I posted a little video, but if you missed it, we're selling Tostada merch for the first time ever because everyone begged and pleaded for it. Please go check it all out. I think everything turned out so silly and good, and she's only available until September 7th. And here's a picture of her for the people who stayed till the end of the video. Okay, bye-bye.
Yay. Psst, psst,